So let's see how to solve this problem. So the problem is find the student that will replace the chalk. So let's first go through the problem description first. So there are n students in a class numbered from 0 to n minus 1. So we are given students from the class like from 0, 1, 2, 3 till n minus 1. So suppose if n is 4, the students will be 0, 1, 2, and 3. After that, we are given the teacher will give each student a problem starting with the number 0. So the first student who will get the problem is 0, then the student number 1, then student number 1 will get the problem, and so on until the teacher reaches the student number n minus 1. So till the time teacher goes to n minus 1 for the problem, till that time the process will go on. After that, the teacher will restart the process. So once we have reached the n minus 1 student, the teacher will restart the process to go from 0, 1, 2 till n minus 1. After that, the teacher will restart the process starting with the number 0 again. Okay, so now you are given a zero index integer array chalk and an integer k. So you are given an array of chalk like this and you are given a k value. They are initially k pieces of chalk. So you are given like there are k pieces of chalk like one, two, three, and like there are 22 chalks in this example, which is given over here. So when the student number I is given a problem to solve, they will use chalk I pieces of chalk to solve that problem. So what this line means is that, so suppose if we consider a student number 0, so this student will consume 5 chalks to solve problem. This student 1 will consume 1 chalk to solve problem. This student again will consume 5 pieces of chalk to solve the problem. Okay, so when the student number I is given a problem to solve, they will use chalk I pieces of chalk to solve that problem. However, if the current number of chalk pieces is strictly less than chalk I, then the student number I will be asked to replace the chalk. So it is obvious, like suppose if the first student consume, so suppose if we are given like there were total k as 5, and suppose if each student consume like 2, 3, and this is to consume. So in this case, if we see, there are 5 total chalks, and the student number 1, I at the 0th index, is consuming uh, 2 chalks to solve the problem. So first it will come, then the remaining chalks will be 3 because it will consume 2. Then the first student will come, it will consume 3 more chalks, then the remaining k will be 0. So then the turn will come of the second student, and for it there will be no chalk sufficient to solve the problem. So this student, second student, will be required to go and come up with the chalk. Okay, so in this we are asked, then the student number I will be asked to replace the chalk. Return the index of the student that will replace the chalk pieces. Okay, so now let's see how do we solve this problem with the help of an example test case given in the question. So in this example, we are given the total number of chalks is 22, and the chalk which each student will consume is given as 515. So the first student will be given a problem. It will consume 5 chalks, so the remaining chalks will be 17. Then the second student will come. It will consume 1 chalk. Then the remaining chalks will be 16. Then the third student will come. It will consume 5 chalks, and the remaining K would be 11. Then the first student will come, it will consume 5 chalks, remaining K will be 6. Then second student comes, it consumes 1 chalk, remaining K is 5. Then the third student comes, then it consumes 5 chalk and the remaining K is 0. Then again the turn of first student will come and it won't be having any chalk, so it will be required to go and bring out the chalk. So the answer in this case will be 0, I, the first student. So now let's see how do we code out the solution, what approach we can come up with. So one simple approach which is coming to my mind is just simulating the process which is given in the question. So in the question it is given like each student will come, it will consume the number of chalks required by it, and then the process will continue till there is a time there is a student which is not having the sufficient number of chalks with him or her. Okay, so if we go inside this loop, we go to each student from 0 to n minus 1, and then we just check if the current amount of chalks which we are having is less than the required number of chalks by the student. So if at any point in time I see that the required number of chalks is less than the current chalks which we are having, then I just return this student. So this student will basically be required to go and bring the chalk. So, and if it is not the case, then I just reduce the chalks by the chalks required by the student. So this process will continue till the time I reach this if, and in this case, the answer will be written. So now what will be the time complexity of this solution? So time complexity will basically be how many times this while loop will be executing and what's the time complexity of this for loop. So these will be multiplied. So this for loop is just having a time complexity of O of n, but the real question is how many times this while loop will be executing. How many times I will be entering inside this while loop. So I'll be entering this while loop till the time I have some k, till the time I have some k, which is still sufficient to accommodate the student's need for the problem. So I come inside this loop and suppose if the chalks are like this, if the chalks are like 2, 2 and 3. See, so now if suppose the k was 4, 7, 8, let's say the k was 8. Okay, so how many times I came inside this loop? So first time I come inside this loop, I go to the first student consume 2, then the second student consumes 2, then the third student consume 3. So they in total they consume 7. They consume 7 chops. Okay, so next time I will again come inside the loop and I will check for the 0th student. 0th student requires 2 number of chalks, but I don't have sufficient, so I will return the student. So this student needs to go and come up with the chalk. So basically, I can see the total iterations for which I will go inside this while loop will be k divided by this summation of chalks for all the students times n. N is the time complexity of this loop, and k by sum is the times I am entering inside this loop. So now let's move on to the better approach. So in the previous approach, we saw that we are required to iterate on each student and then we just reduce down its required number of chalks. So instead of doing this, can't we just go down to the last iteration directly? So what do I mean by that is that if suppose my k in this case is 15, if k is 15 and the number of chalks required by each student is 2, 2 and 3. Okay, so I can easily reduce these values from this total number of chalks 2 times. So what are these total values? This is 7. 3 plus 2 is 5, 5 plus 2 is 7. So I can reduce 7, then I can again reduce 7, and still I will be left with 1 chalk in the end. So I have just gone to the last iteration where my result would be. Isn't that right? So how can I do that? How can I do it? So in this case, what can I do is that I can just reduce the total number of chalks by the sum of the chalks required by each student. So what this modulo operation is doing is that I I am just reducing the 7 many times from it, and whatever will be the remainder that I am getting in this case. So I have reduced this 7 from this 15 two times, and then I will be getting k as 1. So I have gone to the last iteration in this case with k equals to 1. So now when k equals to 1, then I can just iterate on this one time. I will be iterating on this one time, and I will be seeing that this first value, in this case, this is less than, this is greater than, sorry, this is greater than the number of chalks which we are having currently. So number of chalks which I have currently is 1, and this first value is greater than it. So this first student will be required to get the chalk. So suppose if this 15, instead of this 15, if I was having 17. So I would have reduced 7 from the 17 two times, and then I would have been left with k equals to 3. Then the first student chalk's need would have been satisfied. Then I would have just gone to the second one, and then I would have seen like the number of chalks which are required by this student is greater than the number of chalks which I am having, as this first one will only consume 2, and I will be left with 1. So the need of this student won't be satisfied. So this is a better approach, as I will be just required to iterate on this one time. So in this O of n, I can do it. But we can optimize it even more. So how can we optimize it even more is that, as you can see, we have just boiled it down to the last iteration where the students will be solving the problem. So if I maintain the count of chalks consumed till each student, so if we just go through this test case only, so if k is 17 and the count of chalks required by each student is 2, 2, and 3. So if I maintain the prefix sum in a prefix sum array, so the prefix sum till the first position will be 2, till the second position will be 4, till the third position will be 7. So what this prefix sum is denoting, if the if I am going till here, the number of chalks required till here is 2, the number of chalks required till here is 4, the number of chalks required till here is 7. So when I am just having the k for last iteration, which in this case would be 3. So I just need to see which is the value, which is the last value, which is having less than equals to the total number of chalks I am having in the last iteration. So in this case, which is this. So the answer will lie after this. So till here, I can easily satisfy the student need, but over here, I won't be able to satisfy the need, and hence this student will be required to go and bring the chalk. So for this, I can just perform binary search from beginning to end, as this is a sorted array. So I will be performing the binary search and I can get the answer. So now let us see the code once for the solution. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking prefix sum array. How I'm considering the prefix sum array is that I'm just accumulating the sum till this student, till this student, till this student by just adding the value of the previous one. Okay, so that's how I've constructed the prefix sum array. And after it, I am just taking the last element, as the last element will be having the sum of all of the chalks required by all of the students. And then I'm just going to the last iteration where the k would be. So in the end, for the last iteration, my remaining chalk will be this, as we discussed in the approach. After that, I'm just performing the binary search on this remaining chalk. So in this binary search also, I'm just doing normal binary search. I'm taking low as 0, high as array dot length -1. I am just going till low is less than equals to high. And what I'm doing is that I'm checking if I'm able to satisfy till this position. If I'm able to satisfy this position, then I will try to check if I'm able to satisfy beyond this, or else I will just go previous. As I am not able to satisfy till here, then I won't be able to satisfy beyond also, because beyond the need of chalks is more only. So that's what I'm doing. And in the end, I will be at the last position where my number of requirement for chalks will be satisfied. And from there, I just need to go one step after it to get my answer. So the next step, the step where I am satisfying the requirement for the student. From there, the next value will be my answer. So that's what I'm doing. The answer plus one is for that because this this loop will give me the last position till where I'm able to satisfy, and beyond it, my answer will lie. So yeah, this was just simple binary search, and we have solved it from beginning to end. I hope I was able to make you understand. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.